Again, thank you so very much for joining. It's great to see all of your faces. This is a fun time for all of us to join in as members, connect. Already I hear some sharing of emails, and with that in mind, also make sure your member profile is up to date with your contact information. That's a great way for us to connect with each other, even partner on work together and things of that nature. So if you have not done that in a while, please update your member profile. My name is Nicole Singleton Norman, and I serve as the Executive Director for NSITSP. I want to just remind you of just a few key things. Obviously, our vision is to be the voice of the industry, focused on defining the standards for professionalism in IT services. We're growing as an organization, and we're truly excited about that. We do encourage you to continue to help us spread the word about NSITSP. This meeting, although we call it our all members meeting and it's held quarterly, it is open to the public and anyone can join in. So if you talk to folks that may be interested in joining, or you're sharing about the society, please feel free to enjoy those that you work with or peers across the country to join in with us on our next quarterly meeting. This meeting is being conducted in compliance with our code of ethics. Our code of ethics it's great to review those. Those are on our website at nsitsp.org. And we commit to operating the entire organization as well as our businesses in compliance with the code of ethics. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted again on the NSITSP website. So if you prefer not to have your image on to be recorded, you can definitely turn off your camera. We love to see your faces and engage with you because throughout our time together, we will be interactive, and it's an opportunity for you to post questions and to share with us as well. The recording will be made available today, later this evening. It will be available on our YouTube channel. And then if you visit our past meetings, you'll see member recordings there as well. So our YouTube is youtube.com/NSITSP, or you can visit right on our website at nsitsp.org/meetings, and this recording will be captured there. Today, we will start off with just updates from the NSITSP president, Amy Babinchak. I will share just some news about the society, what we've been doing and what's coming up. We will have our Vice President, Heather Johnson, to facilitate updates from our various committees. And then we will highlight two of our committees. Our Professional Development Committee, last meeting, it was a task force, so now it's a committee. They're doing some exciting things. And then we will have our Governance Committee provide an update. And by now you should have seen emails announcing that this is election season for us. And we'll talk about how to best get engaged with the organization. At this time, I'm going to ask for Amy to provide us highlights from regarding third quarter. I don't know if I see Amy. Okay, well, I'll continue and we can circle back around. I'll share some updates. One of the things that I'm so excited to share is that we have hit a milestone. We were getting there, we were getting close to it the last time we met, but I am pleased to announce that we're at 1,032 members as of today. So yay, we're over 1,000. But we know that there's just great opportunities for us to continue to share and grow together. So I do ask that you help us with this effort. And when you see a social media post from NSITSP, please share it. Because the content that we are providing has just been invaluable. And or if you see us at any upcoming conferences, or you'd like to represent at upcoming conferences, reach out to our office and we can share materials with you. I know many of us are attend conferences, exhibit at conferences, things of that nature. So please feel free to reach out. We can, it's not just cliche-ish, but it is true. We can do so much more as we continue to grow. It strengthens our voice as an industry, and we're able to provide more resources to our members. I want to also highlight, if you by chance missed some of our recent webinars, we've had some phenomenal webinars. Some of our speakers are even on today with us. Our most recent webinars and the recordings, as well as the transcripts, are available. And I promise you, if you check those out with every single one of those, you will walk away with key nuggets. Whether it's a reminder or there's a aha, like, I hadn't thought of that, but you'll hear some true wisdom, and great resources are provided there. Our topics were MSP best practices for keeping and growing your employees, so focused on retention, hiring the best, finding top MSP talent in today's tough hiring market, managing your MSPs for generational success, 3 operational imperatives. And again, those are on the resource page of the NSITSP website. Building on that, and we've been, it's been great to have pretty much a webinar, at least one webinar a month. Coming up, you will see announcements very, very soon for marketing for MSPs. Our guest speaker for that is a member, Howard Cohen. This will happen in September. So be on the lookout for this. This email announcement will be coming out shortly. We will have the link available on the website for you to join. And we all can definitely learn new tips and access to resources that will help us to continue to grow our business. So please look out for this webinar. It's going to definitely be power-packed. In addition, our legislative committee, which we will hear from today, hosts a legislative Q&A. And I tell you, if you have not checked out the resources on the NSITSP website, I strongly encourage you to do so. We have just great legislative maps and outreach information. There's brochures on, how to engage with legislators. There's just a number of tools on our website, also under resources. So take a peek at that. But there's get your questions answered. I mean, literally, folks are coming from across the nation with about conversations that they've had or conversations that they want to have. So we're looking to get together again the first Tuesday of the month. So let's go ahead and get that on your calendar and plan to join us for the next legislative Q&A. And then I also want to remind you that we meet as a just membership-wide organization every second Wednesday of the quarter. So the second month of each quarter. So our next meeting is in November, and that will happen on November 13th. November 13th at 9 o'clock. And I started off by saying that, we really want our time to be interactive. I know that we're providing you with updates here, but I do ask that if you have questions, we will open up for Q&A, but feel free to throw those in the chat box as well. If you're not yet following us, and I'm praying that 100% of you are, please do so. We are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then again, we have our YouTube channel. So screenshot this, capture this information, and join the conversations there. And again, help us to share that by posting or resharing on your own pages and timeline, if you would. In addition, NSITSP has been very active with some of our vendor partners who have hosted us at their events. We have attended a number of Channel Pro events. The SMB Tech Fest is another location where you definitely will find and meet up with NSITSP members. But again, if there's shows that you know that you go to or you exhibit, please reach out and let us know so that we can provide resources or meet you there. And then I have to acknowledge and sincerely thank our vendor partners. We're always looking for more vendor partners. Our vendor partners, again, help us to do what we do on a day-to-day basis and help us to forward our aims as it relates to our mission and to our vision. So thank you to all of our vendor partners. If you're interested in learning more information about our vendor partner opportunity, it's definitely great to promote your business and have your business highlighted with webinars and things of that nature. We do have a vendor partner section on our website. You'll find information right on our landing page, but I'm also available to have conversations with you on what this looks like. And then we also offer some in-kind sponsorships. So please reach out to me. I'm at admin@nsitsp.org, or if you know of any potential vendors that would just be great for our community to connect with, please share that information with me there as well. And at this time, I'm going to transition to to talk through and get updates from our committees. Not sure, I'm just scanning now to see if Heather's been able to join us. All right. Well, it's my pleasure then to kick us off with our first committee. And Tracy Harden is the 2024 committee chair. And Tracy, I'm going to have you to kind of take it away for us.
All right, thanks, Nicole. My name is Tracy Harden. I own an MSP in Lexington, Kentucky, and I am the chair for the Finance Committee. Our usual day-to-day stuff is oversight of the finances for the organization, and we also work on budgeting every year, and that's what we're in the middle of. However, we also from time to time take on other tasks, as what we have here on the screen. We developed a sponsorship program to get donations for very specific expenses around the committee. And I had this slide put together for us so you can see the kinds of things that you can donate or sponsor for the organization. The first column is for the members and individuals, and the second column you'll see is a little different numbers, and that's for vendors. So we're like to see people reach out if you may be more comfortable reaching out and helping us with specific expenses such as webinars, postage and handling, because we do snail mail out a lot of stuff still. We try to do webinars every month, and those take time, and we have to pay people to put those together. Graphics design is another ongoing one. So this is something my committee helped put together. This is a great example of some of the stuff we're doing. This sponsorship part here that you see on the screen is coming soon. I'll let Nicole tell me the time frame on that, because it's not quite in the website yet, but this is going to be coming soon. Also, we're always looking for volunteers for the finance committee. So if you don't have to be a math whiz at all, you don't have to know accounting. All you have to do is care about the money and how we spend it. If that sounds like you, please join. You can join in, listen in on a committee. Any of the committees, the event schedule is on the website, but you do have to be a member to participate in the committees. Thanks. You're muted, Nicole.
Thank you so very much, Tracy. We will continue at this time with our legislative committee. And I'm going to ask Dennis to unmute for us.
I am, I think I've gotten unmuted. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Good, good, good. Okay, we've had a lot of changes come down over the last 30 days in that we're taking some changes. We're adding what I think will be a very powerful set of tools for our members, and we'll see that get rolled out over the couple of months between now and the end of the year, and we're looking at a jump off of January to start the new program. What that is basically is about 7 different steps of detail. We're developing a new mission statement for the committee, with objective number 1 being a teams of associate members and committee experts coming together to help each other to work with the targeted state representatives, so that we can have a mentor expert, a member, and together they go after the correct representatives, so that we can have some real good response from them. There, we will be doing contact packages for them, them being the team, so that they will have a map, a series of goals, a calendar for each team in terms of what needs to be done next and that kind of thing. Each member will be working with each of the member teams will be working with an expert mentor who has had experience doing this sort of thing. The activity map will be published on the NSITSP website, and a kit of brochures, presentation materials, and a list of contacts who will be targeted will be made available for each of the teams. We talked about the setup time. We will have a monthly meeting set up on Zoom, so that we can get together and talk to each other about issues that we have, questions that we might have. Of course, we have the mentor available via phone calls or texts, so that you can get questions answered in between the 30-day time. We've got to wait for the next Zoom call. And that is that for that. We expect some real interesting kinds of things happening, certainly after the first of the year. Of course, we've got, it's sort of a good news, bad news thing. We've got the election going on, so that it's going to make things a little difficult to do anything other than electioneering until the 1st of January. But that gives us enough time to get everything put together and the teams put together for the first set of teams. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next 4 or 5 months.
Awesome. Sounds like a lot of activity. Sounds like the legislative committee is the place to be. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you.
And for our marketing committee update, I will ask Cameron to present for us.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Just want to say we're really excited about everything that Dennis and the legislative committee is working on, and we are going to be working very closely with them to help support the marketing and promotion of that. here in the coming months. So I think there's some really good things that are coming along there. Just a quick update, and Nicole touched on a few of these things already, but our webinar series is second to none. In my opinion, we've had some really great webinars. We had the Hiring the Best with Dave Kava, talking about how to find the top MSP talent in the tough hiring market that we're all experiencing today, and then also to the most recent webinar with our very own, Tracy and Heather was just absolutely phenomenal. So please, if you haven't watched those, go check those out either on the website or on our YouTube channel. And also, Nicole had mentioned we've got our next webinar is going to be September 12th with Howard Cohen. And we've titled that one MSP for MSPs, just covering marketing services for MSPs. And we don't have all of the details nailed down yet, but we are targeting a security-focused webinar in October, looking like October the 9th. So you'll see those details as they come out. One of the things that we have worked on since our last quarterly meeting is really trying to engage through email. And so you've noticed that in addition to the monthly newsletter, we've also started sending out a weekly, what's happening at the NSITSP. We've just got so many different events and committee meetings and things that are happening, so much good stuff that's happening, that every week there's at least 2 or 3 events that are available for members to join in on and get connected with. So we're starting to highlight those in a weekly email for specifically what's happening this week, in addition to that monthly newsletter. Nicole mentioned earlier on social media, we've got the QR codes here. If you're not following NSITSP on LinkedIn or Facebook, please take a moment and do so. It's really helpful for our engagement and our reach, and definitely like and share the content. Most importantly, engage in the conversation, comment on those posts if you're not already. Also, too, Nicole mentioned earlier, but we are looking to represent NSITSP more in person. One of the things that we've talked about, even in our last committee meeting, is how can we be more present at in-person events. So if you are planning to attend one, by all means, reach out, admin@nsitsp.org. We can provide you with all of the materials for a booth. We've got table skirts and printed materials to hand out, and that's actually something that we're going to be working on even more of in the coming months as the marketing committee it looks to engage further with in-person events. So if you're going to be attending one, please let us know, and we'll give you any of the materials that you need to make that successful. And then finally, it is election season. We need committee members. We actually have, with this current cycle, we have 5 open spots on the marketing committee. And so I would just encourage everybody to register and run for an elected position there. And even if you don't want to join officially as an elected member, by all means, I hope you'll pop into one of our meetings. The schedule's on the website, and we'd love to have you.
Great, thank you. Thanks so much, Cameron. And we also have an AI task force. So Steve, if you could introduce us to the AI task force for those of us who may not be familiar with the task force and how they too can get engaged.
Sure, happy to, Nicole. So it's a casual organization. We try to get together once a month. We met quite frequently a year ago, and we need to get back on schedule. But the purpose is couplefold. One, to share ideas about what's going on in the world of AI, share ideas about how to run your businesses more effectively using AI tools. Sometimes we'll talk about specific applications and how they're used and how they can be helpful and productive. The next session, I think we're going to look at custom GPTs. So using ChatGPT to do research, gain knowledge, on the systems and how you can use those without having to pay an arm and a leg. And the last session we had a couple of weeks ago, we had a managed AI service provider called White Glove out of Dallas. And so part of what we're interested in is understanding who's out there and what they're doing and who to partner with. So if you don't have an AI practice and your clients are asking, or you think that offering some AI services could benefit your business, help your business grow, add more service to your clients, partners like White Glove, who are experts in it, are good people to talk to find out more. So anyway, we'll meet it once a month for anybody who's interested. I'm building up the invite list. So let me know your name and email address, and I'll add you to that. And you'll get an invite once a month to talk about AI. So that's kind of what we're doing. And if you know anybody, have any friends or associates or work colleagues that are interested in the topic, by all means, share and bring them along. So that's the summary, Nicole.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so very much.
All right. Well, I'm Eric Hansen. For those of you who don't know me, I have found myself, at least as the chair of the Professional Development Committee for now.
Hear me? Hello?
I'm sorry? Oh,
Keep going, Eric.
okay. So recently promoted to a committee from a task force, and right now what we've been working on is getting our charter. And
Yep, 1 second. I'll transfer you to her.
Oh, and our preliminary rules in place. I think we'll probably approve those at our next committee meeting. Just because it's election season doesn't mean that we won't continue doing the work of the committee. So hopefully we'll have our charter approved, at least internally, at our next meeting, the first Tuesday of every month. And then we'll be working on our continuing education credit system with who potential vendors are, how those credits are going to be earned and worked. And, there's a lot to look at there to figure this out so that it makes sense, so that it's not too onerous, but also not too easy at the same time.
Track agent.
And then all the seats for this committee are going to be up for election this cycle, since we're a brand new committee. So if you have interest, please look at joining the committee. We do have a large committee compared to some of the other committees, because I think there's a lot of ground to cover. And in our charter, we elected to be a little bit bigger committee than the average because of the amount of ground there is to cover. And then we have, prior to my involvement, if you want to move on to the next slide. So we have essentially created 6 achievements that will be what we're working towards, and that's what those continuing education credits and other items are focused on. So there will be some badges, founding member badge. Go back one. There we go. So individual and vendor badge, only paid members, and that's for early adopters, which probably many of you on this call are. And then we also have so client endorsed badge. That's going to require some client endorsement, companies that have letters of recommendation from their clients, and you can display that for up to 3 years. Leader badge, for people who are on board, special task forces and committees. So kind of a little bit of self-promotion for yourself there. And then we've got ambassador badges, people who are out doing recruiting, some other volunteerism. If you're posting a lot to social media, and that's nominated by leadership, either by a paid member or yourself. And then nominations are ongoing for that. And then I think we've got one other here.
Representative.
The continuing education badge, individual badge, available to paid members. This will be a big piece of what we're focused on in the committee. And we'll set a number of hours and how that continuing education really needs to work in order to achieve that badge. Hopefully we'll get through that in the next I don't know, 3 or 4 months, so that, you know, everybody knows what they're rowing the boat forward for. And I think, is that the last slide for me? Oh, and the professional badge. So company badge, must have gotten the client endorsement, have the code of ethics posted on your website, and agree to follow the code of ethics. So not too high a bar there, but a bar, a bar that needs to be crossed, especially with the client endorsement piece. And then I think that was the last one. I don't have the deck here locally.
Yes, thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And run for office.
Yes, yes. And now we'll transition to our governance committee.
Thank you, Nicole. Jason Thomas here, local MSP in Chicagoland and the governance committee chair. It is election season in more ways than one. And but we're looking to run a clean election this year. So for a lot of members, this is for a lot of current committee members, this is the second year. What we did initially was split up the committees to 1 and 2 year terms. So we had, for an example, a 7-person committee like the governance committee. This year we have 4 positions up for election, and next year we'll have 3. So if you were in the initial round and got in for a 2-year term, you need to re-up this year and run for your position again. There are 17 days left to toss your name into the hat and register to register for a committee or the board of directors. You will have 13 days to campaign. It's essentially lets people get to know you. We currently have, I believe it is 17 members already filled in with 17 candidates are already running for different positions. So that's great. And you will have 10 days to vote. And you'll see a number of notifications out there going out to all of our membership, asking everyone to vote. We're looking for a great turnout this year. As we say in Chicago, vote often and frequently and often. And then we'll have a day to tally the results, and that's should be the end of September, the 23rd or 24th. We'll have the results, and then all the new members are start their term on October 1st. So there is a banner currently on the NSITSP website at the top to register, and you'll see that change over to voting on September 13th. Let's see here. What else can I tell you about it? The governance committee, we are actively running the election here, and we'll be promoting that. And at the same time, we're looking into all of our the other committees, with all the work that Eric has done for the professional development committee that we had kicked that off. And
Not just me, man, it's a team effort.
it is a team effort, but you guys have taken the ball and run with it and put the framework around it, and we're really happy to see that take shape. So thank you. Nicole, back to you.
Great, thank you, thank you. We did have a question that was posted, and I'm going to present it to either Carl or Jason to help me with the response there. let me get back to it. The question was, is there a limit to the number of committees a member can serve as an elected member? Specifically as an elected member.
As an elected member, it's one. So if you're an elected member of a committee, you can, and you're not up for election this year, you can run for another committee, but if you win, then you got to pick which committee you're going to be on, right? So you can only serve on one at a time, and that includes the board. So you could be on a committee, and the board members can sit in on all the committees they want, but you can only sit and vote and be an active member of one body. But
Thank you.
everybody here should be on something.
And we're open to anybody to come by and listen in and contribute.
Yeah, that's a good point. Especially like legislative committees experience this. Lots of people come and they're members and they're not officially committee members, but they sit in, they participate in the conversation. You know, they don't get to vote, but a lot of times there's nothing to vote on. It's just we're discussing a particular topic. So absolutely, you are, as a paid member, you are welcome to attend any committee meeting or board meeting you wish.
Great, great. As this is a key time, are there other questions, whether about the election period or just any questions regarding NSITSP that you all would like to post in chat? Keith, I see that your hand is raised.
Yeah, I posted the question in chat, but it's wondering if people want to start arranging some meet and greets or get-togethers at big events like IT Nation coming up. I have the cigars covered. Carl's really good at working a bar. We could make this a nice social event and get to meet members in person.
So part of the answer to that is we need to be welcome at these events, and we need to not, the organization doesn't have a budget to send people or to pay for a meeting room or anything like that. So we did enjoy the hospitality of Channel Pro in Ohio, and they had a place for us to meet, and actually had a lot of members from NSITSP on their stage because they had so much talent in the room that week. So if we are invited, we'll be happy to figure out how to get there. Since day one, we've talked about doing things at stuff like IT Nation and DattoCon and so forth. We need to be invited, and we need to figure out how to logistically how to get, make it happen.
Sounds good. Other questions? I think there was just a follow-up question about the elected seat versus being on a committee elected and then appointed, and as to why the elected seats are limited.
So first of all, each committee has about 7 members officially. So about half of them are up for election each year, and all terms are 2 years. So if you're elected in next month, you would serve for 2 years. And then if there's a vacancy for any reason, somebody just has to drop out, or they move across country or whatever, things happen in people's lives, and they leave. Vacancies are filled by the committee by appointment. So, a committee might have 3 people that were elected last year, 3 people elected this year, and then they would need to appoint 1 more person to fill out the committee. And so that person would serve until the next election, and then they would run for a full 2-year term. In terms of sitting on other committees, committee members, just because you're on a committee doesn't mean you're not a fully paid member. So you can go sit in on any committee you want. You just can't be a voting member of that committee because you're already a voting member of another committee. And you know, that's, to me, that makes sense. Happy to hear other comments or perspectives.
Sounds good. I do see a hand raised, and looks like Larry Mandelberg.
Yeah, Carl, can you say a little bit more about why you're not I know we talked about this as a board as to why we can't have one individual in a voting position on multiple committees. Can you say a little bit more about our reasoning behind that?
Why you can't be a voting member on 2 or more committees?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we discussed it in extreme detail, except that we want to have as many people as possible participate, and we don't want the power to be consolidated into the hands of a few.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a member-run organization, so we need the
Exactly.
members to step up and run it.
this is Jason. It's the same reason that if you're registered as a company, we only allow one company employee to have a to have a vote and to take a position. Is that we want to limit the effect of one company might have on the society overall.
Thank you.
Yeah, our famous example, of course, is Microsoft can join. They can send one person to vote, and we want them to do that. But
Yes.
So far they have.
Carl, could you talk a little bit about, I don't think we've talked about it at all in this meeting, but the fact that the committee actually votes for who the committee chair will be, the secretary, the treasurer, all that stuff. What you're voting for now is just being a member of a committee.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
these elections are for who will sit on that committee. Just a note, the board that's elected, let's assume there's some new members, the board that's elected, those members are welcome to come and meet with the board in September. The outgoing board will meet one more time in September. The incoming board is welcome to meet with them. And then October is when the official new roles take place. And so at that time, in the first meeting in October, each committee should elect its chair and secretary and whatever other, offices you need. Really, we just need somebody to take notes and somebody to be the chair. I think some committees have a vice chair. The board has a president, vice president, and secretary. And I think we have a treasurer. I think Rayanne's the treasurer. So does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you, Carl. And Keith Nelson, saw your hand was raised. Okay. And I want to circle back around if there are no other questions. I don't see any posted currently in our chat. I would like to introduce our current Vice President, Heather Johnson. And Heather, if you would provide us with an update on the board and share more about the board elections as well, please.
Sure, I would love to. One of the things that I want to talk about is how much I've appreciated being on the board. And as we come up to an election season, just talk about what it's like to be a board member, because I think that's an important thing to think about. When I got started, I had a lot of board experience. I was in the nonprofit world, and I actually did arranging for boards. So I was very, very aware of the process. But doing it in this space was something new to me. I work at a SaaS company for MSPs that provide services for MSPs. So this was kind of a new thing for me. I had also never been on a board that was just starting out. And that was really exciting. So through the years, what we've done is we've created something and we've thought about all different things that could happen in this and where we want it to go. And we're at this amazing point that we're starting strategic planning, which I will talk about in a little bit. What's been amazing is we built something as a team, and all of the board members really became family, even though some of us have never met in the real world. We're meeting regularly, we were going through things. We were disagreeing. There were disagreements. We weren't always best friends, but we always stayed friends. We always stayed respectful, and we came out kind of stronger at the end of it because we kind of went through it. We went through building something and then seeing people engage with it and really enjoy it and join our committees. And it's amazing. And it's amazing to see all these committees do great work to support this mission. And it's just so fulfilling. So as we go up into this election season, we're looking for other people to join the board and have that kind of experience. At the beginning of the summer, and I don't even remember what month it is because it's the summer and who knows, right? But in the beginning of the summer, the NSITSP board met in Columbus, Ohio in person. I don't usually get to the United States. I'm in the Netherlands with a US company. And it was so exciting to see so many of my friends that I've worked with so hard in person, share a drink, have some laughs, and reminisce on old times, and kind of look back at, wow, this thing's taking off. Like, this is an amazing thing to be a part of, and we're all so proud of it. So that's where strategic planning comes in. You start with all of the plans, kind of figure out what you're doing. What are the term limits? How many committees can you be on? All of these things we've taken time and thought about through our committees and our board. And we've come up with what you're seeing today and what you're part of. But now, the important thing is to have a strategic vision of where we're going in the future, because we can just make decisions willy-nilly, but if it's not going towards somewhere, then we're not achieving the things that we want to achieve in the industry, and that is to professionalize the industry. That's where you've seen some of those exciting things that the Professional Development Committee are doing, because we're looking at that next step. What does it look like to have a professionalized IT service provider industry? And so that's what the strategic planning is. It's not something we can come together and say, hey, I think we should go here, here, and here. It's a very, very long process where we have to think about all sorts of things and brainstorm and think about positives and negatives of all of our ideas that we're having. But it's going to be so exciting and it's going to shape our future. So this is an exciting time to be part of a committee, the board, have your voice heard, contribute to these really exciting discussions and be part of this family. Don't sit on the sidelines. Your voice is important to the future of the NSITSP and, more importantly, to this industry. So I want to see a very, very robust list of people running for office, because you don't want to sit on the sidelines. You just don't want to sit on the sidelines for the future of this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. If you all aren't inspired to get online right now and post your profile as a candidate, you should be, because definitely Heather shared all the highlights and advantages of being on the board for NSITSP. So please do so. Again, if you go to our website, there's a banner at the top. You can just click on that and get engaged there. Want to also highlight just some of our key website links. We talked about our vendor partner program. We've also talked about some of our upcoming events, and there we will also highlight any events that we'll attend as an organization, or as Carl indicated, that we're invited to. We also have our member resources that highlights the various benefits. Make sure you're taking advantage of all of the membership benefits offered by the society. And then Again, in closing, just want to remind you that we will meet again in November for our next all members meeting. And please mark your calendar for our upcoming webinars. We talked about the marketing webinar in September and then the cybersecurity program in October. As far as the election is concerned, you can continue to submit your profile and file for candidacy up until August 31st. Thank you all so very much. We'll hang out here for a little while if you have any other questions, but thank you so very much for joining us today.
Good to see you all. Run, vote, run, vote. And they were all gone.